Well, happy Monday morning, everyone. Here's a little installment in my cottage chronicles of what's going on today. Stuart's not here, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a video update on some developments and what's going to be coming up next. It was absolutely bliss this weekend because I was able to get out and actually do a little bit of gardening. So I started trimming with my beloved Barnell pruners. I started pruning some of the boxwood in the boxwood village here by the front porch. But I also wanted to give you an update on a couple of other things. So I did indeed sprinkle some seeds in and around the spaces in between the brick and the flagstone. And so I'm hoping some of those will germinate. And then the window box is being built, and I should get it by Wednesday. And that leads me immediately into my question of the day. So my window box in the other house, both front and back, window boxes that I've designed for other customers, I always somehow match the paint and the trim of the house itself and some design features. So here's my question. I've got two options here. I've got this bluish gray trim color that I could paint/stain it, but then also I have that glossy black from the front door and the glossy black that was on the shutters and that is on the wrought iron railing. So that's my question for you. I'd like your opinion. What color do you think would look best? I think they might both look good, but I think one might look better than the other, and I'm equivocating on that. So if you would, let me know. And then we'll also be filling in towards the end of the week. We'll be getting the irrigation boxes in for my irrigation system. We were waiting on those, and the remainder of those will go in, and then some of the trenches will be filled. So at least we will make that progress. Now, as it relates to the walkway, the skim coat will be put on tomorrow, and then it has to cure with the sealer for a week. So I'm having to stop my mail and a number of different things. We'll put a protective temporary fence around it so nobody will walk on it, but that we have to stay off of it for a week. At that point, then, the fun begins. I will be able to start staging some of these pots onto the patio, or onto, I should say, the porch, and in and around the patio. This large one over here that I've got sculpted up, I think I'm going to place it on the corner on a piece of concrete on the east corner of the cottage, and so that will make it be to the right of the window box. So by next week, or by the end of the week, I'll at least be able to start playing a little bit over here. So I'm thrilled about that. Now, what I'm also thrilled about, but also very nervous about, is that the Southern Living truck is going to be coming in with all of those plants much earlier than I expected. So it'll be coming in on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, maybe even Tuesday. So I'll keep you updated on that. One thing I wanted to show you is these Yopon hollies. Let me stand back a bit so you can see them. But these Yopon hollies, I typically, when trees are first planted, I don't trim on them a lot. But I am trimming on these a bit because I want them to get their tree shape established so they look a little bit less like large shrubs and more like small trees. So you can already see from my trimmings on the ground that I have done some minimal pruning already, pruning off some of the lower branches and then opening up the canopy on the inside so it's not so dense. So this one you can see I've worked on a little bit, but this one over here I haven't touched. I will probably have Stuart film me doing some of this so you guys can see just what they will look like after. And and the look that I'm trying to get. They're absolutely beautiful, but I want to thin them out a little bit so they look less cluttered, less twiggy, and just have a more appealing shape. So I'm getting ready to do that. And then over here, I noticed we've got some developments. I actually also did some weeding in what little turf will remain on the hill. I did a little bit of weeding in the grass today. So look at this, Anne Magnolia continues to put out really beautiful blooms. Though I will, as I said, I will move her. And then they're blooming short, but I guess they'll just keep growing. And by the way, cut tulips continue to grow after they've been cut. They can continue to grow up to an inch. And excuse my shaky camera work because I'm having to very carefully tread around these ditches and holes. And then, of course, the beautiful snowball viburnum is there, putting out its limey green blooms. So that is what's going on in the front yard. By the way, I loved all of your suggestions to take off this screen door, and I probably will do that. This side of the property is a little bit more secondary to me as I try to get the real front yard established, but definitely I will be working over here, and that was a brilliant idea. And this door, many of you wanted to know, where does it go? Well, this is the door to nowhere. This used to be a porch, and they converted it to a spa-like bathroom, which you guys know that I just love, love, love. Now, I didn't make it clear yesterday, and if you haven't watched the interior episode yesterday, then you might want to do that. But several people asked who the artist was that I was referring to. Oh, and by the way, I want to show you, there was no water access over here, so I did put in a water pump so that I can eventually water all of the beautiful hydrangeas and encore azaleas, things like that will be planted on this front. But I guess I created the impression that the photographs that I'm going to do the gallery wall with in my bathroom were from an artist, and she is an artist, trust me. But it is, this is going to be a really special wall for me because it's going to consist of the beautiful, beautiful photography of my friend Deborah, who is my bestie that I moved near here, near and dear to my heart. She is an incredible photographer, and she is on Instagram. I believe her account is private, so if you want to follow her and her gorgeous photography, I think you have to request access. But it's Deborah Mitchell, and what she does is just brilliant. She matches quotes to her fabulous photography. Most of it's nature photography. So this is what's going on in the front yard. Next week, then we'll start doing dirt work, and we'll actually start planting some plants. And I'm hoping that before we know it, this front yard will be pretty much completely transformed. And it's so fun because, yes, the red buds. The red buds are budding out. Lots going on here. And now I'm going to take you over, and this is where my camera work will probably get really shaky because I'm having to navigate around a lot of things. I'm so anxious to get, oops, there we go, some of these of my special topiary pots. I am so anxious to get them in place. And we can check on these little guys over here. Look at how beautiful that Swiss chard is growing. But here's something fun on this side I discovered the other day. So I've got lots of my pots and my garden decor items. They're all stored on this side. And what's fun is before you can kind of see a passageway down there, secret passageway. I don't know that I've showed you that before. But in some of these pots over here, I planted some seeds, or I just kind of broadcast some seeds in here, and now I've got little seedlings coming up. There's some poppies, I think some columbine, maybe even some foxglove. Over here we have some Seed and Pure Joy and a Dorito sack. I don't know where that came from. Maybe one of the workers. And we're going to come around to the back. You can see here my whole inventory of stuff that's just crammed back here. And a lot of it will go away once I decide what I'm going to use and what I'm going to purge. But this is a nice place for me to hide all of this. You can't see it from the front, and it's fairly accessible from the back. And so here you go. I don't think you guys have really seen much of the backyard. So I'm going to reveal it from this angle right here. We will build a surround for the HVAC, the air conditioning unit. And we will somehow build a platform for Hub's grill, for my composter. This goes down to the detached garage. And then one of our next big projects, this walkway to the garage will all be torn up. And then we will do some beautiful steps and a porch back here that will have that combined flagstone and brick look. And it will be much larger, and the treads will be much shorter. I think I've shared that with you before. If it's shaking, it's because I didn't realize how cold out it was. It's really chilly out today, this morning. And then I'll have to figure out this space. And I'm looking forward to doing it. There will not be any grass, or if any at all, very minimal amounts of grass back here. This area is going to be just like an outdoor living room. Back here is more mess and more of my garden debris, all my pots and everything. And you can see that I've got some big old tulips coming up back here. I don't know. Yeah, at first I was concerned that there wouldn't be any tulip heads, but there are. You can see them in there. So I planted these last year. I can't remember exactly what color they are. In the chaos of moving, I was just starting to shove things everywhere. And then there's my plant stand. And by the way, my QVC line for this spring, there's going to be a terraced plant stand. And then back in here on this facade, this is where I anticipate that I'll have some raised garden beds for some vegetables and things. And then the dining area will be in the center. We'll have to figure out a way to get music back here. You can see that large window that goes into the great room in the back. Those will be casement windows that we can wind open and open them to the outdoors and experience a little bit of that indoor-outdoor garden lifestyle, which will be very, very nice. I'll probably put some kind of awning over this back door. But all of this will be completely transformed. Right now, at least, it's just not muddy because there's grass back here. And then we'll do something on that gate to make it a little bit more attractive. Right now, this is just kind of all a wonky mess. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to get some hot coffee because I'm freezing. It's much colder than I anticipated, or I would have worn some gloves. But remember to answer my question of the day, what color you think I should paint the window box in front, and let me know what and if you are able to garden today.